Good morning. Can everybody hear me okay?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I can hear you.
Yay.
Good morning.
How are y'all doing today? Awesome. Is this y'all's first session or did y'all have one already this morning?
This is my first one, but I'm in the middle of switching out bulletin boards, so I found a way to stay busy.
Very nice. All right. My name is Carrie, and I am a learning guide from Fried Tech. I also live in Lubbock, Texas, and work as a coordinator of digital learning for Lubbock ISD. So I'm excited to be here with you this morning. This session is going to be getting started with Adobe Express. So we're going to look at the platform. We're going to look at how it's set up, how to access things, and then we're going to get to play a little bit and show you some of the fun things that you can do within that platform. So that's kind of the goal today. I am going to drop, just to get started, the link to this right here. You can type it, but I'm also going to drop it in the chat. So if you want to grab it there, you can grab it there. Maybe if I can type this morning. There you go. So that is in the chat for you. We are a kind of small group this morning, so feel free if you have questions to speak up. I'm happy to answer them. If you need anything repeated as we go, I'm also happy to do that. So just let me know what you need as we get going. Is there anybody in here who's already using Adobe Express? Do we have some already users? Very nice. Yay, Karen, that's exciting. I think one of my favorite things so far this school year was working with a first grade class, showing them how they could use Adobe Express for some projects. And it was so fun, and the kids loved it. It's real easy to think about projects you can do with secondary in this. Sometimes it's a little harder to think of the little ones, but they absolutely got in there and enjoyed every minute. So great, Crystal. I'm excited to have you. All right, did everybody get the link to the presentation? I dropped it in the chat. It's also right there on your screen. All right. Like I said, my name's Carrie. I'm a learning guide for Fried Tech. Also work for school district in Lubbock, Texas. This is presented by Fried Tech, and so there is a link underneath there to see all the other things that they offer. They do have online training that you can do if you're just looking to learn a little more about a specific content. And then, of course, they offer trainings like this and campus trainings and district trainings and all sorts of things. Right under that is your check-in for Adobe. So either the button or the QR code is going to take you to the same place. So if you're in the presentation and you click on that button, it should open a new screen for you or a new tab for you. If you are not in the presentation and just following along and watching, perfectly fine. There's a QR code that you can scan there to get you checked in for Adobe on this one. Go ahead, Crystal.
I thought I was in the presentation because I clicked on the link, but all I'm seeing is something that just says JCPS getting started with Adobe. So I'm not seeing what you're showing me. It's like not changing.
Will it let you scroll down?
Oh, never mind. I
There
was
you go.
trying.
No, you're fine. That's perfectly fine.
Sorry.
We're used to clicking through slides, right? Ooh, visual arts. That's going to be fun. Very nice. I'm going to give you a minute so you have a second to fill out that check-in. Let me open it and see how much. Oh, not too bad. Those of you that came in late, I'm going to drop the, I think I still have it. The link to the presentation back in the chat again. And we scroll down through the little intro and we are on the check-in right here. This is going to be the check-in for Adobe, so that they will have record of who all attended. I'm also recording this session, and I will give it back to your digital learning person. I think they're going to share all of those recordings out if you missed a session or need to go back and refresh. All right. I'm going to keep going unless you tell me you need some more time. Please feel free to let me know if you need me to slow down. Okay. Of course, I am not within your district, so I want to make sure that you're able to log in. I understand that you should be able to go to ClassLink and see the Adobe icon within your ClassLink. So if you go to your district's ClassLink, you should see this Adobe icon and be able to click on it, and it should automatically log you into Adobe Express. I am going to just open Adobe Express. So that is another option. If you do not see that, you can typically just go to adobe.ly Express. It's right down here. It's got a link, and log in with your account. You can log in with Google or your district email address. Let me know if you're able to get logged into Adobe Express. I'm going to open it up so you can see what it looks like when you get logged in. This is kind of what your dashboard should look like when you get logged in. Yay, Crystal, did you go through the class link? Yes. Oh, perfect. I love when that works. One success story. We'll take it. Awesome. Do I need to give everybody else a minute, or do we feel like we're able to log in, those of you that wanted to get logged in? Yay. Okay. Stay logged in right there. Okay, I'm going to click back to the presentation just to give you some information there. We are going to look at the platform. I'm going to show you some of the features, how it's set up, how to access things, a few things that it will do. And then we're going to actually come back here and build a little bit so you can play in some of those features. And then we'll get feedback at the end. So that's kind of what your presentation here goes through. If you get outside of this and you forget everything that we did today, that is okay. You can come back here, and these are all linked so that you have those to go back to and refer to. Okay? All right. Let's look at the platform. So hopefully you got logged in and you are seeing a dashboard that looks similar to this. Okay. a couple of things that I want you to note. Right up here where you see the Adobe Express symbol and Adobe Express for Education, that will always bring you back to this homepage, this dashboard. Okay. Across the top, we've got 3 options, hopefully. If you are not in education, which we all are, but if you are not in education, then you would only have 2 options. You would only have your create option and your edit option. We also have a teach option. Okay. In your create, one of the things that is one of my favorite pieces of Adobe Express is that they give you tons of templates that you can use. So each one of these is going to give you a template and instructions on how to use it. Okay, that's what we're going to play in here in just a minute. But all of these are built that way. Okay, in your teach button here, it is going to be more guided for education. So you can look by subject or grade level. You can look for classroom activities by content area. You can create an assignment or create something to track student progress. So these are really education focused pieces. Okay. In your edit button, this is what usually gets people started in Adobe. I bet most of us in here know of Adobe because of Adobe Reader, or we have used it to edit a PDF, right? And that is kind of where the edit button goes. So a few of my favorite in here, though, just so you can see them, remove background is a quick and easy drop a picture in, and it will take the background off of that image. I don't know that I have a picture uploaded um, that I could use, but because I think this one has a background. I think that's the fried logo, and it doesn't have a background already. But if it had a background, all you have to do is click it and it will automatically remove that background. And then over here, you can add a background. So if I wanted to add something behind that, I just have to click and it's going to automatically insert, which is a really cool feature. That is in your edit button. A few other things, you've got your edit PDF where you can bring a PDF in, be able to change anything on that PDF. Combine files is a big one, so you can bring 2 PDFs together if you needed to. You've also got options for adding an object to an image or removing an object from an image. I don't know if you've seen it, but we have whole Facebook groups where people will bring a picture in and ask to remove somebody from the background. Real easy to do with Adobe Express. You just pop your picture in there and you select what you want to remove, and it will take that piece out of your picture. So those are your 3 top menu buttons there. Okay, over here on the side, I'm going to come back to this plus sign because it's actually my favorite button. Okay, but we've got our home button, which takes us back to our home screen. Okay, your stuff. So when you come in and you start playing and creating, everything ends up here. So this is kind of like your drive or your folders or your files, right? So this is your stuff. You can create folders within here if you have some OCD things like a lot of us do. I won't admit it, but I might be in that category. You can create folders, keep everything organized, but all of your things that you create will end up in this little place right here. You've got classrooms. We're going to come back to this in a minute, but within Adobe Express, you can create a class and then assign through that class. So here in a second, I'm going to show you a template. We're going to build on it. And then I'm going to show you how you can create a class and assign that template, and the kids can build and you can see their progress on it. So that is classrooms. Activities is going to let you search by a subject and a general grade level, right? So it doesn't break it down to like 1st through 12th, but it breaks it down into elementary, middle school, and high school. And then your subject areas there. So for example, let's go with, I'm a math person, so we'll stick with math. That way I feel confident in what I'm doing here. And we'll go with middle school. And so you'll see it will bring up ideas that you could use in a math class in middle school. I love math and sports. Once you find something that you like, you can either quick assign straight out to kids or customize this. So if I hit customize this, it's going to give me that template right here. And I can change anything within this that I want to. So if I want to change the wording here, the colors, the picture, any of those things that I can change. And then I can either save it if I'm just creating something for myself, or if I'm creating a template that I want kids to do, I can assign it to one of those classrooms. Okay, that is in your activities. There you go. Templates, all sorts of things that are already built for you to take and use. Okay, you can search up here by category, or you can just scroll through if you have a lot of time. You also have filters over here on the side so that you can filter out. Up at the top, it gives you different ideas. So if you're looking for a web page, if you're looking for a background, all those different ideas. Okay. Learn is great. So this is great for not only for us, if we're trying to figure something out, but also if you have kids, then you're putting them in Adobe Express. These give you step-by-step guides on things, right? So if I come down here and I want to learn how to edit and format text, I can click on this and it is going to give me step-by-step with videos of how to do all of those pieces. Okay, so that's in your learn button there. And then brands, I create brands for a lot of things currently, but what it'll do is it will let me choose a color scheme, choose fonts that I want, and then apply them to anything. I don't know if you have like a classroom theme, and it's the same colors that you're using all year long, or maybe you're preparing for some event. You can create a brand, and then anything that you can do within Adobe Express, you can apply that brand and not have to go find your colors and find your fonts every time. So that's your create brand right there. Okay, coming back to my favorite button, this little plus sign right here. This kind of just encompasses everything I showed you all in one spot. Okay, so I hit my plus sign. I have two options. I'm either going to create or quick action. So my create is going to give me blank templates, or right down here, I can choose from some of their other like social media pieces or infographics. Okay. Quick actions is going to be all of those editing options. So create a quick QR code or remove a background. We looked at that one a second ago. Merge videos. So putting two videos together. All of these little quick actions. So if you're not sure where to find something out of all those menu choices, go to your blue plus sign. Okay, and it's easy. You can also search within your blue plus sign to find something. All right. Any questions on just the overall platform, what you see within your login? Did you see something that you didn't know was there or that you're excited to try?
I'm excited to try the book cover design
Oh,
with
fun.
kids because I'm a school librarian. So this works perfectly for like my upper elementary age kids with having them select a book, a picture book, read the book, and then design a new cover.
I love that idea. That's great. That would be so fun too. And we're going to do something kind of similar to that in just a second. So you'll get to kind of play with it and experience it and then come up with even more ideas, hopefully.
So I'm hoping that Adobe Express can help me with more like the newsletter side as a music teacher, like for our events and stuff coming up. maybe even some posters. But like, I do have some questions. You're probably going to touch on it, but more along the lines of when it comes to actually printing some of this stuff and like the print options for like sizes and different things. So maybe we'll get to that eventually.
Sure, sure. Yeah. Great. I'm excited that y'all have some ideas. Okay. We are going to play around a little bit. Okay. So from that beginning page where you have all your resources, right? You got logged in. So you have 2 tabs open right now. On that front page, there is also a link under Let's Get Started that says Review Today's Training. You see that one? When you click on that, I just wanted to make sure that you see this and you know it's here because it's going to give you more information, okay? So we've kind of already started. We've talked about the tour right there. I skipped the why. We'll get to that. But I think most of y'all are on board with the why. And then we're going to look at project examples next, and we're going to create next. And then we'll add a voiceover so you can see that piece. So that's kind of the plan for this session. Underneath that, you will see the rationale we'll come back to in just a second. But here is a link to a video that tours that dashboard. So everything I just went over, there's you a little video if you need to come back to it and see it again. And then our next thing that we're going to do is write down here on generate an AI activity. I will drop this link in the chat too. So if it's too many tabs that you have going right now, I will give you that in the chat also. I want to come back to this. Y'all already touched on this a little bit, but the why behind Adobe Express for students. Using it for us is great. I love creating, I create like flyers, I create newsletters, I create all sorts of things that I just need to do for my job. But one of the things that has really hit home with me is that our kids need these skills for all the jobs that they're going to be applying for, the careers that they're going to be looking into when they get into college. So that's kind of where this talked about, you know, the AI skills, the creativity skills, all of the things that they'll need for their future. But also the second one talks about the engagement and building confidence and all of those pieces that we know are important in the classroom. One of the things that I've really enjoyed seeing in using Adobe Express in a classroom is some of the kids that aren't going to stand up and talk in class build some of the most creative things, and I really get to learn about them and their personalities through what they've created. So that's been one of the really neat pieces of Adobe Express for us. All right, I'm going to drop this link. So if you haven't followed all the clicks, I know there's lots of clicks, I will drop this link in the chat as well. Oh, not the tour. That's not what I wanted to drop. I want to drop the activity link. There we go. Okay, so you can either get to it through the chat, or if you followed me, you should be able to click right there on that link. And let's play a little bit. So this brings up one of the templates, okay? This would be a great activity for now during the beginning part of the school year when you want to get to know about kids. Or you could do this to introduce a topic and have them create a poster about what they already know about that topic. You could have them do this if you have, like we do, what's it called? Like elections for our class presidents and those kind of things. Have them create little posters about themselves. I think this would also be a cool one that you could do for like a book cover, where they talk about the different pieces. So let me show you what all we can do here. Notice on the side, we have the learn piece, and that is actually going to walk you through all of the different steps. So everything I'm going to show you is also right here. So there's a video that will tell you how to do all the things. And then if you scroll down, it's going to say, click on the name, change the name, click here, change the fonts, all the things, okay? So that's going to show up on your side panel. All right, so I'm going to start. I'm going to click right here in the name piece, just like it says, and I'm going to change it to my name. Oh, but I only have one A. There we go. And then I can click in any of these and change this. Let's see, focused. Let's go with motivated. And I don't know that caring really describes me as much as maybe, let's go with interesting. We'll go with that one. It's kind of weird to talk about yourself. My favorite subject is definitely not science and algebra. Let's go with math. Okay. And then I can scroll up. If I want to take this and change it, I can. Or if I don't really want the sticker at all, I can just delete the sticker. So I just click it, delete it, take out what I don't want. All right. I'm going to scroll up here. I do play soccer, but that's probably not my favorite thing. Run. Let's put goes running. And then I don't really love some carrots. I do love chips and queso, though. Queso. And plans to read, let's go 5 books this year. 50 seems a lot for me. And then I can come over here. Obviously, it doesn't fit, so I can adjust my font size over here on the side. I can change the fonts. So if I want to come over here and do something a little less bold, maybe. Let's go. Ooh, we could do some cursive. That looks fun. Here we go. And then you've got a back button. So just playing around until you get that how you want it for you. Okay. Over here I have options. So if I wanted to make this circular, like the text that was in that piece over here, we can make it circular. We could change that this is lined up in the middle, all of those pieces. We could change the font colors and the outline colors. Next, we can add effects. So if we want this to bounce or glow or come in, you can do all of those things. You can also generate text effects if you want it to look like something here. And then we can also add animation to your things. And that's anything you click on. So if you click on here, you can change that. If I click down here, I can change that. Okay. I don't know why it doesn't like queso, but we're keeping queso. All right. The next thing that I want to show you, and then I'm going to give you a little time to play around so you can create yours too, is when I click on the picture, notice I get different options over here on the side. Okay. So this picture doesn't really look like me. So instead, I'm going to generate an image. Okay, so I'm going to click on that one. This particular template gives me wording up here. Okay, so I'm going to leave her a female. I'm going to leave her as a doll. That works. But I have blue eyes, so we're going to change that to blue eyes. I also have long, curly, I like to say blonde, but it's probably actually gray. So we're going to go with long, curly, blonde, and brown hair. I have big blue eyes again. I want to wear a purple shirt. Let's put purple shirt. Let's see what else we got. And blue jeans. I'm good with blue jeans. Let's go with some white shoes. White tennis shoes. I definitely don't want any pink glasses. There we go. Let's hold a computer or a laptop. Let's put laptop because I don't want to hold a whole PC. And then we'll stick with the bobblehead. That's fine with a big head, small body, and a plain background. Okay, I'm okay with that. So now that I've changed all that, I also can add styles. So if I wanted to, I could bring in a picture as like a reference to add a style, or I can come down here and I can select a style. So if I want it to look like a photograph or a graphic design, and I've got options down here. Okay, so all of those things I can change. I'm going to hit generate and see what I get. It should give me some choices. So it's going to pre-populate one into that picture spot, but over to the left, it's going to give me a few other options to pick from. So I can choose one of those other options if I don't like the one that it puts in the picture. All right, so it brought in one, you see that, but look over here. We've got a few to choose from. I kind of like the darker brown, so let's go with that. I'm going to switch to that. Maybe I need to go get my hair done to a darker brown. I like that. So it does that. If I wanted to, I can come back up here and change my prompt, right? If I'm like, oh, I'm not that blue of eyes, right? I can go back and change it to maybe if I put hazel, it'll get closer. But you can go in and edit and just regenerate, okay? You could also have an option here to generate more, okay? So you can also come down here and say, I don't really like any of those four. Give me some more options, okay? Now, I kind of like that picture. I think I'm good there. I've got my words fixed. The other thing that I can do is if I click on that picture, right? I told it a plain background when I was generating it, but now maybe I want a different background. So I can come in here and I could remove the background. So I clicked on my picture there. I hit remove background and it will hopefully just give me my little bobblehead doll here. Karen, I believe so. I don't know that for a fact, but I believe that they have everything set up through ClassLink where your kids could also access Adobe Express.
Yes, Carrie, that's correct. It's in ClassLink. It's a little rainbowy one there.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay. It's still generating, but what it's going to do is it's going to take that background off and then it will let me replace the background. So maybe I want the background to be a school building, or I might want it to be outdoors since I put that I love running. So it gives me lots of options to do there. I'm going to let this keep going and then, oh, it says sorry, of course. But I'm going to give you a couple of minutes so that you can play with your template. So if you have questions, feel free to pop them in the chat or just unmute and talk. I'm going to give you, let's do about 3 or 4 minutes to play around in your template. Try out, click on your picture, try that generate image and change up the wording and see what you get. Make sure you go in and play around with all your text and your fonts. You can also add elements in. So over here on your side panel, you can go in and add in elements. And then after we do that, we'll come back and we'll talk about adding in some audio too. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to play. Okay, did anybody come up with something? How do we feel about it? Tell me what you made. Yes, so Crystal, she asked, can you remind me what I click on to change the animated person's characteristics? So we're going to click on the picture, okay? And then we're going to go to generate image. And then right up here, you'll see the text and you can change that up. So if I wanted to change up instead of let's put, instead of a laptop, she's going to be carrying some running shoes. Then once you've changed that, then remember you have all these different options here. Just hit generate at the bottom once you get all of that set up. I love that you're getting in there and playing with it. How do we feel about this for kids? Looky there. She's got running shoes. I may have gotten a tan during the summer, but it's starting to fade. So I'm going to come over here and pick one of these other little friends. She's got a little more red hair. There we go. What are we thinking? Do we see some great uses of this that would kids could do? Thank you, Karen. I'm going to hope that the silence means that you're out there just playing around, because that's what I do. I get nose deep in it and start playing with all the things. Okay, the next step that I'm going to show you so that you've seen this as well is once I have gone in and added all of this, another thing that I can do is I can add animation. Okay, so over here on your side panel, I'm going to go to media. Okay, inside of media, I'm going to come over to videos. I don't necessarily agree with this being in videos, but you'll understand what I'm thinking here. Okay, so in videos, I've got a couple of options. One of them is I can record myself. So if you're creating something and you need a video of yourself in there, or you want the kids to do that, they can also record themselves. You're going to have to allow all the things the first time you do it. It's going to say, do you allow this to use your camera? Do you allow it to use your microphone? Right? But once you do that, you'll see this pop up and it's super easy. Just hit start recording. It'll let you record. It'll take a minute to update or load, and then it will add that video into your project. Okay. Second option, you can also do a voiceover, right? So if I switch to audio, I can record a voiceover. So I could have this without my face and without the video piece, but just my voice on top of it, right? So I could do a voiceover. Great for if you're wanting to give instructions for something. I love this for the book review idea. If they wanted to create the book title page and whatever they wanted to add for the images, some information, their favorite part about the book, why it would be a good book for other people, then they could also do a quick voice recording to go with it that would play. I'm going to go back to the video piece though, because this is my favorite. We can also animate the character. Okay, so when I click on animate character, okay, it's going to give me, this is probably not the screen that you saw when you first popped up, because inside of here, you see this right here where it says category and you've got a drop down. Yours probably defaulted here, right? And you've got all these characters. What I like to do is I've already built my character. I used the AI generator to create a me, right? So I came in here and changed my category to mouth only. So if you scroll down to the M's, there's one that says mouth only. It gives me all of these to choose from. So I'm going to be friendly today. So I'm just going to pick that. And then I can record. Okay. So I'm going to hit that. Give me a countdown. Hi, my name's Carrie, and I love to be outside and go running. Once I do that recording, it takes a minute. So it's going to take it probably not a whole minute, but it feels like it when you're sitting there waiting, right? It's going to take it a minute to upload, and then it's going to insert that mouth looking little picture on top of my image, and I can move it around. So I'm going to show you what I'll do with it once this loads in just a second. But you saw in there where you also have characters. So if you grab one of those characters and just record words, like with one of these, right? Then it will insert the character talking, but you'll hear your voice. Okay. I think, let's see if it gave me my mouth. So you see it gave me down here where I can see that it's lined up, but my mouth right here is real big right now. So I'm going to make it smaller. I'm going to put it over the top of my mouth here. There we go. That looks better. So we put it there. I'm going to minimize that so you can see. And then I can rotate it a little bit, try to line it up good if I want to. But once I get it there, this is obviously not perfect, then I can hit play. And it added the mouth with my character, okay? So it becomes a video. So that's why you see it in the video section, because it becomes a video instead of just a stagnant image there. Yay, I love that you love that. I love it too. If you created something like this, is it possible to link into a Google slide for class? How would you do that? Yes. So you can download it. So that's perfect intro. Thank you, Crystal. So right here, I've got a download option. So I can download it. It'll download as a video image. And then in Google Slides, you can insert a video. So you would be able to insert it there in your videos, in your Google Slides if you wanted to. Okay. But you can also share this. Okay. So this right here will just give you a share link. And then where we're going to end for this session is you could also assign this. So I'm going to go back for 2 seconds and just show you this right here. If I was going to do this with kids, I'm going to take, I don't remember who was the librarian, but I'm going to take your idea and say, I want the book title here. Okay. And I want the author here. And then I want them to insert an image. I'll let them create the image, right? And then they can introduce it however they want to. And I want them to put their favorite part of the book, or how they're going to sell the book to somebody, right? Of the part. This is what happens when I talk and type at the same time. Favorite part of the book, okay? And then if I did all of that and go to assign, okay, remember we talked about that if there were classrooms, then it will let me choose one of those classes. Okay, you have to create a class, but it will let me choose one of those classes there, create the title, and create a link. And that gives kids each their own copy of this to go in and play with and create. Okay, and they're not going to be creating on top of each other. Each kid will get to create theirs. So I'm glad you're enjoying this. We have 5 minutes left, so I want to make sure that you get all of your credit and all of the things. So I'm going back to where we started. Okay, on that very first page, the link was in the chat. If you go down to the bottom, there are 2 pieces to fill out. Okay, one is the survey for Adobe, and one is the survey for FriTech. So when you fill out the Adobe one, let me drop that link here first. They're actually going to send you a credit page that says that you get credit for being here today. Okay. So that one is getting credit from Adobe for attending this session. And then this one right here is just for feedback for me. So if you enjoyed this session, or if you feel like there is something that I could do that would be more beneficial or helpful, I would love that feedback. And that is that second link, the Fried Tech link. I will be around for a second. I'm not kicking you out at all. I just want to make sure that you had time and that you weren't trying to fill those out and missing anything for your next session. Thank you so much for being here. I'm happy to also hear anything that you're excited about or that you have questions about. Oh, look, and David plugged my other 2 sessions. So I've got another one at 10 that we're going to go a little bit further. And then we've got another one, which 10 my time. I think that is going to be 11 your time. And then we've got another one this afternoon. Yay, Alicia, I'm glad you learned something. I hope I said your name right. It's very addicting, Carla. It's easy to play around. Thank you, Karen. Is it Janai? Janai? I'm going to try that. If you want to come off mute and tell me the correct answer, I would love to hear your name. I love that.
It's Janine.
Janine. Okay.
But that's okay. Good try.
I kept trying, and I kind of regretted starting to try once I kept trying, but
that's okay. No
I
problem.
love hearing
tell me that.
I haven't seen that one, so I love it.
Have a good day.
You too. Thank you. Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you. I learned a lot today, actually. I look forward to sort of digging into this further on my own.
Good. Thank you, Crystal. I'm excited.
Carrie, I went in and did the survey part, the training and event survey, feedback survey. Is that where we get the certificate from, or is there another link?
That one will send you a certificate. I don't think it comes immediately, but the Adobe one is the one where after you fill it out, they will send you a certificate.
Okay. And then your part is tied into that. Where's the link?
It is that bottom link. It's the fry.tech eval. I'll drop it in again.
Thank you so much. I
Yeah,
appreciate
no
it.
problem.
And
Have a
forgive me.
wonderful day, and thank you so much. I really enjoyed it.
You're welcome. I hope you have a great day.
What is the event session that we should put down for this?
Which one are you in? Are you in the Adobe one?
I'm in the fried one.
Oh, the fried one. Let's see what it says. The state virtual. You can just call it the Adobe getting started.
Okay, that's what I thought, but
Yes.
I wanted to make sure I was right. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And then I'm not listed there, so you can just put on the who was your lead learner, you can just put other.